Hello, everybody. This is Storycast by Samuel Ajide, and I'm your host. I believe everything gets better with the story, and that is the same idea for Storycast. We want people to come around and share their journey and share their story to inspire other people to do better. Yeah, and today I have a deep conversation with Yinka. He works at Artsmiths as a strategist, and he also works from the back end. And in this conversation, we talk about quite a number of things. We talk about collaboration for young creatives. We talk about pricing for young creatives. We want to talk about what the community have been able to do so far. And I really enjoy this conversation, and I hope you do too, because there's a whole lot of things to pick from this conversation and to learn. So yeah, don't forget to like this video, share your opinion in the comment section, and majorly don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can reach quite a number of people. Thank you and enjoy. Before we start our conversation, I want you to, give a brief introduction about yourself so people that are watching can get to know you.
I'm Yinka. I'm the creatives director at Artsmiths. I am a drone pilot, and I dabble in every other aspect of creativity so that I can understand what each individual goes through in their respective field. So yeah, I can be a model, I can be an artist, I can be a drone pilot, a content creator, and so much more.
Oh yeah, that is cool. And I forgot to say this before we start. While we are starting, rather, that I want to say a big shout out to you for all you're doing for the creative community in this city. Like, it's it's one of a kind, and I feel like you are headed somewhere with that project that you're doing for Artsmates, and it warms my heart so much because in this type of city that is just growing with a lot of creatives around that are trying to express themselves through their art, it's a big and huge opportunity to create that kind of environment for them to come and collaborate with other, add more works to their portfolio and do all of that. And that will launch us into me asking you, what do you think? I want to hear your view about community. What does community means to you? Because I think you are doing a lot of stuff for the creative community. But before you can do that, that means community has a big space or a big place in your art. So can you share with us what community is for you?
First of all, I would like to thank you, for appreciating me. But the honest truth is, there's literally no arts meet without you and every other person that is participating in it. And that kind of answers the question about what community is to me. It's, a group of people coming together for a single goal, or people that are in the same geopolitical zone, or people that are in the same religion or anything like that. So community to me is ensuring that a group of people can benefit from each other or can benefit from having the same goals.
Thank you so much. That's really resonate with me because I one thing that I've come to realize, I think I did a micro content on it, that in this 21st century, nobody can actually survive without a community because
Absolutely.
it's God's plan for us. God cannot come down to help us. He will always send people to us. And how can you meet these people? Through communities. You
Community.
can't stay in your house and expect magic to happen. You need to go out, you need to connect with people, you need to network, you need to build a relationship, not necessarily for the present time, for
For the
future,
future,
for when you
absolutely.
are going through a trial and the other, because life can be funny. And what you said really buttress what I have in mind, and that is so cool and so amazing. So yeah, I think we've done estimate your project named Tap 5.0.
Our project, but
Yeah, our
we'll come back
project.
to that. Yeah.
Thank you. Our project 5.0. That means it has been done 5 times.
Five times,
Can you
yes.
just run us through how the experiences has been for you personally as a strategist, and for people, like the reviews you've had from it? For me, it's so amazing. The few times that I've been opportune to come around, I enjoy myself because I feel like I have the liberty to create whatever I feel like creating,
Absolutely.
which I don't get a lot of time because we work for clients, and clients most time always have their own directions. So
Exactly.
you have to work with your direction.
Direction,
But
yeah.
coming into that kind of community, coming into Askmeet, gave me an opportunity to work with different mindset. I When I'm creating the time to collaborate for people, I know the kind of investment I have to put into
Absolutely.
getting
Model,
more makeup
exactly.
artists, models, so that I can be able to express myself. But with Askmeet, everything I need is present. That is
Absolutely.
the testimony for me. And for you, can you just run us through how it has been?
Honestly, Artsmith Tap, it's been exceptional. It's not even about just the community anymore. It's no longer feeling like I am doing things for people. It feels like I'm doing something for myself because every single time that we do tap or we have anything Artsmith related, there's this level of character development that I have to go through. Dealing with people, seeing different perspectives, understanding how people think, how people act. And if you keep an open mind in that kind of situation, it helps you reflect. It helps you see that, oh, this can be done better. This is how this should be done, and so many other things. So, aside TAP being a creative community to help people, it's something that really helps me. It's helped me grow. It's helped me learn that, okay, these are the things you shouldn't do, and these are the things you can do. Then, aside that, the Artsmiths project is probably one of the most special things to me and to the people that are working on it. It's life in itself. It's understanding that human beings generally, we tend to have like, we like cult like followings. It's why people are in churches. It's why people have political spaces. It's natural to want to be part of something. It helps you connect. It helps you feel like this is where I belong. And that's the main reason why, we decided to put this in place. And like you said, it also helps people, creatives, to do things without having to struggle so much to get things together. Like I've seen so many people struggle with the fact that they want to create, but they don't have the ability to actually work with makeup artists or fashion designers or even get props. Talk more of, photographers. But deciding to do something like this, understanding that everybody needs each other is one of the major reasons why we started this whole thing to ensure that creatives can create at every single time. Um, One of the major constraints that we had in the initial stages was doing tap monthly. And I feel it's the way human beings are wired. When something is new, they don't usually connect with it so easily. But I could see the vision. I could see that this is something that is necessary. It's something that is compulsory. You have other industries like you have lawyers, you have medical doctors, they have communities, they have rules and regulations, they have times that they meet up. And I felt like the creative community was lacking that. It's everybody doing things randomly rather than with structure. So that's one of the major reasons why we try to put this in place a situation where creatives can come together and say, okay, this is the standard price we want to charge for something. This is how we want to do something. These are the people that we need to work with. These are the people we need to reach out to. These are the things we need as creatives. So like that's the major essence of all of this. It's no longer about me. It's now about every single creative out there understanding that we need to come together to do this together. And like everything that involves art, we're allowed to make mistakes and we're allowed to improve on it as we do. So yeah,
Oh, that is really broad. Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. Do you think um it's possible for the creative industry to be regulated? Because you say something that there's a need for creatives to know how much you're charging or something like that. Because I think that is one of the issue we are facing in this city. As a young creative myself, and someone that has business out there running, as a creative, most times I don't know if there's anything we are not doing right, but or maybe it's our location, or when you are probably trying to fix your price or rate card or anything, you still have to consider the location. It's a very big thing that you have to consider. But do you think there's a way the creative industry can be regulated?
I honestly think even right now as we speak, the industry is actually regulated because I know that no matter how much a photographer comes into play, there's a slim chance of him actually charging 500 naira for a shoot. So it means that subconsciously there's a standard price in everybody's head that, okay, this is bare minimum. Now there's collaborations. We'll come back to collaborations. But there's a standard price that's in everybody's head. It just needs to now come down to the fact that we have a community now, we can now all come together and say, okay, well, we're voting on the standard price of certain things. But no matter how much you want to vote, even if you're a medical doctor or you're a lawyer and you have a standard price, you need to always consider that human beings have personal, interests that they would put ahead of whatever it is that you've planned. But that should never stop you from planning all the same. If you have just 10 people that follow a certain structure, then it means that there's room for other people to come and follow that structure too. But you can't actually win it all. You can only find the right people to work with and then create a structure with those people. Over time, it will spread out and it will become a norm. So yeah,
Yeah, that is so good because it reminds me recently I did some little changes on my record. I increased my record, and couple of people came around again, and I gave them a new price, and they are like, "This is different from what
You're used to.
Used to. And I was like, apart from, I don't even like using the situations of the country to fix my rate card.
Okay.
There's a lot of other reasons and other factors that we have to consider apart from even the situation of the country. Everybody know that that one is there, and that is that about that. Thank you so much. But we were saying something earlier on about um, comparing this part of the world to the Oyimbos, as we generally
Absolutely.
call them, and you say something about people who wait for a long time before they can charge their work
Oh
for their
yes,
work.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, do you get it
So I
now?
understand now. We're talking about the fact that foreign industries or companies have a certain period of time where they can offer things for free because their economy actually provides for them, basic amenities. In Nigeria, you have more people that they want to do something free, but they end up having to survive. So they start taxing people and asking people for money for those things that should still be free in the early stages. I think it's a major challenge to even in tap because the initial plan was to create a platform and a venue for creatives to come together and collaborate for free. But then, over time, when you realize that you actually need to spend money on logistics, talking to people, food, all of that, you'll have to start considering actually charging people for it. But one of the major things I would say that might be a solution to something like this is I feel like Nigerians, or let me say Africans, we're constantly always chasing the Western world, and it's costing us a lot. We never actually look inwards to see that what are the problems that we're facing in our own country and how can we solve them. You know, I would say that for the average person in Nigeria, food is probably more paramount than taking personal pictures, right?
Yeah.
So if you could put that into consideration, you can consider that you probably have a higher chance of getting an audience or pay by snapping food for restaurants and people like that because that is where people are, trying to survive. Same thing goes for creatives. I feel like Nigeria doesn't really leave room for you to be passionate about what you do. It only leaves room for you to survive with what you do. So if that's put into consideration, sometimes you can't fight a system. You can't fight the water. That's why I usually say that like sometimes you need to flow with the waves because if you keep fighting it, you get drained, you get weak. So I think a major thing that each creative should consider is simultaneously finding a way to work jobs enough to be able to do things that they actually love, that they're passionate about. Because if we waste time saying we're complaining about the system, we're still going to be in the system. So might as well just do what you can do about it and then move forward.
Oh, this really makes sense. I love how you went in depth into it, and I think everybody watching us will be able to pick one or two things
Absolutely.
from this conversation. Thank you so much. And yeah, I want us to talk about collaboration. When I want to start my career in photography, I actually had a difficulty, and that is one of the reasons why I really appreciate Artsmiths because it's an avenue for people to easily get to collaborate, and because it took me a while to find people that are really interested to collaborate.
I understand.
So you get, so I feel maybe it's the location, but yeah, it was a bit hard for me, or maybe I was not looking out well. So, and one of the best code I ever had was collaboration kills competition,
Absolutely.
and I feel there is a need for us to even come together and push out our stuffs. I even stumbled on a page recently on Instagram. Two photographs co-own
A picture.
a no, no, not a picture, a space.
Oh, that is brilliant. It makes life easier for them.
So I feel, because I say if you want to go fast, go alone. Am I right? And
Yes.
if you
But if you
want
want to go
to
far,
like go with someone, so I feel
absolutely.
there is a need to embrace collaboration. From my own head, what do you have from my own end rather? What do you have to ship in about
I think
collaboration?
collaboration is a necessity. It is all that there is to life. It's our whole existence. It's
Sorry, don't even let us look at this from creative space. Our parents actually collaborate.
collaborated exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So I might just
There's
went
no.
there
I
now.
feel like Africa is still limited. And I'm a little sorry that I'm saying this about Africa because you have to always represent the motherland.
Yeah, Africa for life.
But sometimes we need to call a spade a spade. I feel like we find it very difficult as Africans to collaborate naturally because everybody is fighting for survival. It's just the reality of things, People in foreign lands, or let me just say white people, Chinese, all of that, to a large extent, they've outgrown the part where they're still struggling. they're still competing. They've reached a point where they've solved basic amenities. Once you solve basic amenities, you can truly create with passion. But Africa is also home to a lot of collaborations, to be quite honest, because I've seen a lot of people do really creative
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
people that can actually transcend from that point of struggling to survive to collaborating that actually do really passionate, really creative things. Because at the end of the day, it's I think it's even literally the whole essence of Artsmith. It's the idea of understanding that if you want to lift a box that is really heavy, it's gonna be really difficult to do it alone. But if you have like 500 people lifting that same box, you probably just use one finger to lift it. So if you put that into consideration, you understand why collaborations are necessary, they're natural. In fact, they're a must. But I'll be honest, sometimes collaborations can also hinder growth, right? Um, because some people take advantage of collaborations and they use it as an opportunity or an avenue to not pay people. So there's a pathway where you need to know when to draw the line, when to say, okay, no, I'm not participating in this collaboration because aside it being beneficial, there's also need for me to be able to grow in my field so that you can collaborate with a better person or use a better gadget in the nearest future. So it's necessary that we actually pay people, even if it's a collaboration. It's something I've been trying to figure out how to infuse into the artsmith space, um, ensuring that there's a standard price that anybody that invites you out for a collaboration, you need to pay them, even if it's 3,000, if it's 5,000, something that covers at least the basic things like
Logistic.
logistics or food. Because I feel like it's wrong to collaborate with someone and not be able to provide basic things for them unless it's the person that reached out to you. So I've not completely figured it out. I hope we can all come together and say, okay, this is what we think should work, this is how it should work. But it's something that we need to find a balance in, whereby you know that there's a difference in collaboration and actual work, and this is where you should draw the line. So yeah,
Yeah. So, okay, I think I did know. Maybe I did not word it well.
okay.
Let me just say LD collaborations.
Healthy
LD
collaborations, yes,
collaborations. Yeah.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that is cool. So we are talking. You say you're taking a break.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
what next do we expect from Artsmith? Or you still want to fall back and come come with?
Honestly, I'm trying to figure out how to ensure that people actually understand what the community is, because I feel like that's the most difficult part of all of this. It's one thing to tell people that you're a part of a community. It's another thing to ensure that they actually digest that information and connect with it. Because most people, they join communities. They don't join communities because they actually want to be part of the community. They join communities because they just want to see what's happening here. Oh, okay, this is what's happening. That's good, and I'm gonna dip. But like understanding the necessity for people to actually understand that this community is theirs. So like what I was saying is a lot of people lack the understanding of what community actually is. A lot of people just think of the idea community, but they don't actually understand what it entails. It's understanding that you're a part of something. You're not on the side. You're not a visitor.
Sitting on the
You're not
fence.
sitting on the fence. You have to actually be involved, participate. Even I, as the person that leads this whole thing, if I make a decision, if you're part of the community, you're supposed to be able to stand up and say, no, this doesn't sit well with me. This is wrong. Do you understand? And as long as you're going to say no, this is one thing that I always try to put into consideration. Try to, if I'm being honest, shove down people's throats. It's don't talk, don't just talk, do. Do you understand? There's adequate room for everyone to do inside the artsmiths community. There's understand. I've reached a point in life where I've started to understand that there's really no perfection, and then people just always chase perfection. But the whole point and essence of us being here is to constantly improve, which means even when I think something is completely right, it means that tomorrow I might realize that that thing is wrong. So it means that when I make a decision or when I say this is how things should be done, and somebody comes out and says, this is not how it should be done, this is a better way to go about it, I am open to accepting that information. And I'm also open when the person is actually willing to put in the work to bring that thing to life. The only thing that I might find as an issue is when people talk or criticize something that somebody's doing when they're not doing anything themselves. And it is very easy to just critique. So that's something that I feel like it's paramount, or it means a lot to me to find more people that are willing to, dive into the community, put in their all, go the extra mile, be selfless in it, if I'm being honest. um, Running a creative community is probably one of the most selfless things you're going to have to do, because it means that For instance, now, I model, or I would say I used to model, or I create content, right? In order to in order to do all of that, you have to consider the fact that it's a sacrifice you have to make for other people. So saying you want to actually lead is a huge sacrifice on your part. It sometimes takes a toll on you. It makes you lose parts of you. That's why I said I was taking a break to figure things out, to get more people on board, to structure things. Um, One of the major things that we are looking to put into place is figuring out how to make tap work such that it is free for everybody to participate. So that it takes a level of workload off us. It also makes it easier for people to understand that their participation is paramount. Like if they put in the work, it actually becomes a community. Not, I think I would just rather prefer if we had 1,000 members and 999 of them are actually doing things rather than 1,000 members and 10 of them are actually leading. Do you understand? Because it's way easier to market, to tell the next person that, oh, there's a community. If it's not just 10 people that are doing it, if it's not 10 people that are asking people to tell people about the community, it's easier when 999 people, and I remove that extra one because, there's always that one, are actually marketing and actually pushing something. So the idea for TAP in August, which is the time frame that we're planning to take a break for, is that we want creatives to actually come together in pairs or in groups, a group of maybe 10 to 15 people, photographers, makeup artists. I mean, we're all in the same group now. So it's easy for you to reach out to people, tell them that let's create something.
So one thing I want to ask again is that, do you think if Artsmith as a community is in another state, it will be doing better than it is right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. But like I said, it's never going to be perfect. If we do Artsmiths in Lagos, it's going to be good. But then people are always going to ask for more. It's human nature to always want it to be improved. A friend of mine, Skido from Artpole, said something one time. He said, "Polish your shoe till it shines." And I feel like a lot of Nigerians, a lot of Africans need to actually connect with that statement. It means, you know, work with what you have. Stop yearning for better. Stop, just be in your space, be in your element, and create with the people that you can find. Create with what you can create with. Because if you keep yearning for more, it's infinite.
Yeah.
If you go to Lagos, then you feel like you should go to Canada. Then you feel like you should go to Dubai. Then you feel like, but if you actually work from scratch, you build it. If it takes you 10 years to invest in something, invest in it. Time is here. It's always going to be here.
I noticed that Artsmith added an agency to their products recently. Do you want to tell us what that is all about?
Yeah, so about the agency, I think we've reached some form of like a roadblock, and we're trying to figure out that we're trying to figure out how to, we put all these people together in a community, and we tried our best to keep it open to ensure that people can come in, mingle, network, and all. But we started to notice that it's affecting the community in a sense because human beings being human beings, most of them are not. Their selfish interest usually comes first. So we've noticed that people just reach out to people behind the community's back, link up with them, collaborate, and all of that, and it takes away from the essence of actually building a community. Um, and I feel it's still based off the fact that there's not enough structure in place to ensure that that doesn't happen. Now, the reason why we're even trying to put all of this into place, aside the fact that it publicizes the community when collaborations happen and the community is involved, is the fact that we need to be able to protect our members, and that's something that's quite difficult. I've heard some things um, that would probably have not happened if we were carried along. And, one of the major things that it happens with human beings is they always tell you about the bad side. They never tell you about the good side. So it makes it very difficult for you to judge. So we're trying to create an agency such that we have people that actually sign under the Artsmiths community. People that actually have to cross check like before they go out to go and do certain things. People that put us first so that we can reach out to whoever they're planning to collaborate with or work with that, okay, these are the things that we expect you to put in place. That's where that statement you were asking, that is there a way to regulate the market? That's where it comes into place.
So if there's an agency and people are under the agency, and or if you have like 1,000 people coming together to say that the standard price for something like this is this, that's all you need. Just to set of people to just decide that, and you're good. Like if there's nothing in place that is some form of legally blind binding, then people can just go and do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. If we come together and we sign agreements, then we can guarantee that photographers are charging this amount, models are charging this amount. We're just trying to ensure that the creative space has some form of structure. Because I think that's what's making so many people take advantage of us or not take us seriously. Because I can get it elsewhere. I can easily just talk to somebody else. So creatives not bullshit creatives. So yeah, that's what the agency is supposed to be
Yeah,
about.
so the agency is going to be acting like more of like a modeling agency, that kind of
Exactly,
stuff they do.
but for creatives generally.
Okay, yeah. That share more light on it. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time with you, and we are coming to the end of this conversation. And before you go, I would like to ask you if you have anybody out there you want to like give a shout out to. You
Man, if I decide to do that, we're not going to finish. Oh. But like, yeah, first of all, I would like to shout out to you, the Sami Olajide,
oh,
for deciding to host this,
thank you.
for trying to dive into creatives and find out what works for them, what their challenges are, and things like that. It's still a selfless act to actually care about people enough to want to interview them. I mean, you could have done this all by yourself.
Thank you.
I would also like to appreciate the brand Tough for the outfit that I'm wearing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a fashion designer and
Branto,
it's really good.
like you're good.
Really good. I feel like good service is an enemy of great. He's really great.
Yeah.
So yeah. Aside all of that, I would like to say a big shout out to all the members of the Artsmiths community, all the members of the back end, my family, my friends, in fact, literally everyone, because there's really no me without anyone else. We're all here for each other. So yeah, big shout out to
Yeah.
everyone. Big shout out to you too.
That is the coolest shout out I've
Yeah,
ever received in a
please
long
calm
time.
down.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for honoring us.
absolutely.
And yeah, if
We're good.
you have anything to say to the viewers,
Keep creating.
don't stop.